Good day, folks, and welcome to another edition of Lumberjack Logic Live. I'm your host, Neil Johnson. Always excited to be with you and to share the news with you. And, folks, it is a big news day today. So there are a lot of stories breaking all at once. I was trying to get ready for this live. I ended up changing the title. I didn't get the thumbnail changed, but the bottom line, we've got Epstein, we've got Lamont. We have the largest ever, folks, healthcare fraud takedown in U.S. history. 324 defendants charged across the nation. 14.6 billion in alleged fraudulent claims. This is huge. We also have, gosh, we got a bunch of stuff, Rebecca. What else do we have going on here? We've got some funnies and a federal judge canned. No, not a federal judge. Excuse me. Federal prosecutor canned the same day he was appointed by judges. This is amazing. I mean, this is such great news, folks. So, number one, the big one. This just happened. I mean, we're talking within the last 10 minutes. Susan Collins just became the 50th senator to sign on to the Save America Act. You can give Susan Collins a hand clap in the chat. I know a lot of you called, so I want to give you a hand clap too. You can give yourselves all a pat on the back and a hand clap. Okay, George from Alberta, Canada on the stream. Good to see you on, George. Smash that like. Do chat in with where you're from. Miamisburg, Ohio on the stream. Okay, so her running for re-election in Maine is a good thing, folks. Okay, that's a good thing going on right now because she just, I told you she would be the one that would do it. I called this yesterday. Do y'all remember how I called this yesterday? I told you, call Susan Collins. She will flip. I wasn't so excited about Mitch McConnell, Lisa Murkowski, or that other schmuck, okay? But, yeah, this is exciting. Okay, now let's go on to the next one. Why don't we just let's just play the first part of this video. We don't need to play the whole thing, but the U.S. Department of Justice just announced the largest healthcare fraud takedown in U.S. history. 324 defendants charged across nationwide schemes involving $14.6 billion in alleged fraudulent claims. Folks, Minnesota ain't the only one. Here we go.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Matthew Gagliotti, and I'm the head of the Justice Department's Criminal Division. Thank you all for joining us today as we announce the largest coordinated healthcare fraud takedown in the history of the Department of Justice. Today marks a decisive moment in our fight to protect American taxpayers from fraudsters and to defend the integrity of America's healthcare system. We are announcing today charges against 324 defendants for their alleged participation in healthcare fraud schemes involving approximately $14.6 billion in false claims submitted to Medicare, Medicaid, and other healthcare programs. In a takedown this large, but there are 4 key points that bear emphasizing. First, let me be clear about what these healthcare fraud schemes mean for every hardworking American family. These criminals didn't just steal someone else's money. They stole from you. Every fraudulent claim, every fake billing, every kickback scheme represents money taken directly from the pockets of American taxpayers who fund these essential programs through their hard work and sacrifice. And when criminals defraud these programs, they're not just committing theft. They're driving up our national deficit and threatening the long-term viability of healthcare for seniors, disabled Americans, and our most vulnerable citizens.
Exactly, folks. Fraud in healthcare, fraud in Medicare, Medicaid. We've seen this time and time again. It's fraud. But you know what isn't a fraud? My friends at Chapter. Give them a call, folks. I know I've been harping on this, but I mean, people saving $4,000, $3,000, $2,000 a year simply making the call and switching to Chapter. Not big government, not big insurance, independent. Okay. This is your chance to save big money. The average savings is $1,100. The call only takes 20 minutes. You will at least have peace of mind that you're in the best plan. Their number is 832-761-2660. Again, that's 832-761-2660. They'll treat you right. They'll get you in the right plan or tell you you're in the right plan, and you can move on with your day. All right, folks, let's go on to the next story here. So we've got that one. That's big. Now, Don Lemon, okay, so he pled not guilty today, but there's more to this story than that. Okay. In fact, I'm going to come back to this. Let's go. They are, folks. Well, no, I'm gonna keep with this. I'm gonna go with the Guardian article here. I'll get a few things. And I want to show you something really big. Don Lemon pleads not guilty to civil rights charges after Minnesota anti-ICE protest. Okay. Former CNN host turned independent journalist Don Lemon pleaded not guilty on Friday to a federal civil rights charges connected to his coverage of a protest at a Minnesota church where an immigration and customs enforcement official is pastor. 4 others also pleaded not guilty in the case. Lemon did not comment to reporters as he entered the courthouse accompanied by his attorney, Joe Thompson, but he later issued a statement stating his refusal to be intimidated by the Trump administration and vowing to fight these baseless charges. For more than 30 years, I have been a journalist, and the power and protection of the First Amendment has been the underpinning of my work, Lemon said, referring to the U.S. constitutional right to a free press. The events before my arrest and what's happened since show that people are finally realizing what this administration is all about. For them, this is where it gets good. Funny stuff. Listen to this. For them, the process is the punishment. Folks, honestly, for who was the process the punishment? Okay. Don Lemon is trying to say this. He actually barged into a church. He's got real problems. For who, folks, was the process the punishment in all reality? Answer that question. Okay. Like all of you here in Minnesota, I will not be intimidated. I will not back down, and I will fight these baseless charges. Here's what gets really interesting, too. Roughly 24 protesters stood outside the building chanting, "Pam Bondi has got to go," and "Protect the press." They held signs with slogans, including, "Lemon was just doing his job and ICE out." Folks, this is a complete misreading of what's going on outside the courthouse. Now, I've seen the videos. I won't show them to you. But these wacko leftists are holding up sex toys. That's what's going on outside the courthouse. Now, good old Guardian leaves that out because they're leftist sympathizers and they don't want you to know. You can go find the videos yourself out there. I'm sure they're all around on the internet right now. They're running around with this stuff saying ICE has got to go while they flip these things around. It's the weirdest, stupidest. I'm not going to give them the time of day. I'm not showing it to you. Okay, but that's what's going on. I find it interesting. They're also waving Mexican flags. Yeah. Okay. Their kind of optics are bad for them. Okay. Again, you can go find those out there. But here we go. Derek Evans reposted this video from Red Wave Press, but Fox News reports prosecutors have requested Don Lemon's phone and say there's extensive footage of him before the church live stream. This is an escalation, folks. They get that phone, it's over for Donnie Boy. You guys do understand that, right? I mean, this is not going to work out for him. Let's play the video.
We could obviously see Don Lemon. We got a little bit of color inside the courtroom. As I look down, holler if you see him here. He is sitting with his legs crossed, elbow resting on the table, while one of his attorneys spoke. He looked right at the governor's attorney as they were discussing his phone because they have requested his phone, Shannon.
Mm-hmm. And listen, he has framed this as a First Amendment issue, as practicing journalism, as being a free voice. And he's got a lot of advocates on his side to say, listen, journalists have to be able to walk into difficult places and document what's happening. I think what's a difficult thing for him potentially is there is so much of him on camera that we've seen prior to the live stream in the church, part of the live stream in the church, and also what we've heard from some of the parishioners who were there about exactly what was said and done. That doesn't seem like it was purely just documenting what was going on. But I think he enjoys this opportunity, probably, if he comes out and talks to the camera, to say this is a First Amendment battle. There's a lot of protection for journalists in this country. The question is whether or not the court will believe, or jurors potentially will believe, that's what he was doing that day.
Folks, that is, it's just interesting. Don Lemon, I don't know if you want to call him Lemon or Lemon. I've heard it both ways, but I'm just going to go with Lemon because now we have lemon laws. We should have lemon laws about, you have to understand. So he was an anchor on CNN. Now, no matter what you think of CNN, Obviously, people saw him. He was kind of in the upper echelon of media. Now he's nothing more than a leftist hack agitator who runs around and documents as well as instigates leftist insurrections. It's really a rapid descent, a huge fall. I'm going to skip the next one, Rebecca. We're going to move right on to Anthony Gakowski's post. And this is a statement from city's church attorneys because there is a civil lawsuit that is going on. Don Lemon is going to be, he's going to be found guilty in this, and he's going to have to pay up money. Okay, so this is going to be a financial settlement. Don's going to lose money in this. So are the other people. But city's church attorney and pastor, after today's arraignment of 5 defendants, by pleading not guilty, Don Lemon and other defendants are doubling down on their claim that the press can do whatever they want under the auspices of journalism, while also defending the invasion of a church. This was a coordinated and planned operation. The First Amendment does not protect premeditated schemes to violate the sanctity of a sanctuary, disrupt worship services, or intimidate children, says True North legal counsel Renee Carlson. There is no trespass on church property or conspire to invade religious worship. It's not journalism, because it's not journalism, to accost a pastor who is about to read a scripture to his congregation. While the Constitution restrains government from infringing on fundamental rights, it also obligates government to protect those rights when private actors threaten them. True North Legal is grateful that the Department of Justice stepped in when Minnesota's leaders stepped aside instead of protecting the church. Okay. Now, on to Epstein. Now, there's a big thing taking place in Epstein. So people are losing their jobs. Okay. And people are getting arrested. Now, I want to show you, where's our, you've got it, Rebecca. I don't have it. You pull that up. What does that say?
Finally, an arrest has been made in the Epstein saga. The black rectangle has been caught.
Folks, there it is. All you looking for arrests, the black rectangle. That's right. The redacted rectangle has been caught. But Norway actually just arrested their former prime minister, Thorbjorn Jagland, was taken into custody after losing immunity over Epstein ties. So that's the first real detention linked to this scandal. But there is a bigger thing brewing here in the United States. Okay. And this is a really big one. And I found this from Mike Benz. He posted this on X. I don't know how I missed this, but this happened. He posted this out on February 1st. Now, I don't know how many of you know who Kathy Rumler is, but she was Obama's White House counsel. Okay. Now, I'm going to skip ahead from this. We'll go through this thread here in just a second, but I want you to watch this video that Mays had dug up. This is 2017. This is Jeffrey Epstein's good friend, Catherine Rumler, explaining that she ran Obama's vetting and ethics department and was responsible for vetting all of Obama's cabinet members. She also said that she was saddened because Trump had debased the presidency. That's right. The gal who called Jeffrey Epstein Uncle Jeff. Okay. And she's tried to distance herself from him. When we get in this story, it's really wild. Okay. But Rumler was so close that she called this guy Uncle Jeffrey. Check it out.
I had a team that did vetting and ethics. So
Vetting and
our
ethics.
office was responsible for vetting every cabinet member. So, and we had, in our administration, we had quite rigorous standards. And so it would be a big failure if someone turned out to have, not not filed their tax returns appropriately, or, something like that, or, a big issue they would come up with be with household help and people not paying taxes on either a nanny or a housekeeper or something like that, or landscaping people, that type of thing. I'm really disheartened by what I think is sort of the devaluing of the office, or in some ways almost a debasing of the office of the president, which is something that I
Hold on a sec,
revered.
So listen to her talk. If they hadn't it maybe paid landscapers in cash or something like this. I mean, is this a common thing in the Democrat Party? Is getting all these foreigners who aren't here legally to do your work around the house, maybe clean their house, do their laundry, do their landscaping? Listen to this. This is an elitist. Okay, this is a gal who called Jeffrey Epstein Uncle Jeffrey, talking about ethics to a crowd, talking about ethics, knowing that message will get out to you. Okay, she's scolding us all because we dared to support Trump. We have debased the office of the presidency by voting for him. Let's continue.
As White House counsel, and really felt a personality to sort of protect
This is too much.
protect the this sort of sacrosanctness of it.
Gosh.
Not in a religious sense, but just in the sense that it's
Go to this article from 8 News. Gifts and soup from Uncle Jeffrey, the Epstein ties that ended Kathy Rumler's run at Goldman. Goldman Sachs general counsel Kathy Rumler has had a storied legal career. As a federal prosecutor, she helped successfully prosecute Enron executives, including Ken Lay and Jeffrey Skilling. She was part of President Barack Obama's administration, working in various roles for much of his 2 terms in office, including as White House counsel. That's a huge role, folks. White House counsel, I mean, being the lead attorney for the White House. She was even briefly considered by President Obama as a candidate for Attorney General. That's right. On Thursday, Rumler, 54, announced that she plans to resign from the top legal post at Goldman after a trove of emails and correspondence between her and disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein showed the 2 individuals were especially close years after Epstein's 2008 conviction on sex crime charges when he became a registered sex offender. Rumler previously downplayed her relationship with Epstein. She called him a monster and said she regretted ever knowing him. Rumler has repeatedly described the relationship as professional, citing her job as a private defense attorney before she ever joined Goldman Sachs. But documents released in recent weeks by the Associated Press depict a deeper relationship that had been previously characterized by Rumler and Goldman Sachs. These include intimate email exchanges, social plans, and gifts that went far beyond the formal legal work. Roughly 8,400 documents involved Rumler or referenced her, folks. Let me repeat that. More than 8,400 documents involved her or referenced her. Some correspondence shows that Rumler was aware of the extent of the allegations that Epstein had faced involving underage girls in Florida. In some instances, she advised Epstein on how he might go about trying to repair his image and defend himself publicly against new claims of misconduct. Is that how you would treat somebody who you really feel is a monster, folks? Is that how that works? Just type yes or no in the chat on that. Okay. But here's where it gets really interesting. I'm going to go back to what Mike Benz had posted. So a couple of interesting notes on the reveal that Obama's White House counsel, Rumler, emailed Jeffrey Epstein. She was awarded, folks, get this, get ready for it, CIA agency medal just hours after getting the award. She emailed Jeffrey Epstein just hours after getting a CIA agency medal. Okay. Oh, Mac Daddy 0664. Thank you so much for that. Super. That was lovely. Thank you. 1999. Reminds me of a song by Prince. Anyways, we'll scroll down here. Now, when I saw this, I wondered why I'd never heard of this before. Her CIA agency award in 2015 was not and still has never been reported by any press outlet whatsoever. Not even a fringe one. It's not in her Wikipedia. It's not in her extensive current Goldman Sachs bio. I've covered this many times, for example, how BlackRock's vice chairman proudly lists his winning the CIA Director's Award openly on his official BlackRock bio. So you can see that here. Okay. This is Vice Chairman of BlackRock, Thomas Donnellan, and he has received the CIA Director's Award. You can pull that up, Rebecca. There it is. Okay. Now check this out. The award is a big deal, and she was clearly so excited and proud of it, she rushed to tell Jeffrey Epstein mere hours after CIA Director John Brennan awarded her, and then sought validation from Epstein over it. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Rumler had already left government and returned to private practice at Latham and Watkins 8 months earlier. When she won the CIA agency medal, she was a private citizen, a civilian. As it turns out, folks, non-CIA civilians can receive the CIA agency medal privately with no public release if they have played a meaningful role in enabling CIA operations, providing critical access, or helping clear high-stakes legal or operational obstacles the CIA faced. Did you guys catch all that? Hold on. The reason the CIA doesn't publicly disclose CIA agency medal winners who are non-CIA civilians is because those winners, as nominal civilians with no CIA overlap, may not want the public to know they covertly helped the CIA overcome sensitive legal or political obstacles. Of course, you can't rule out simple cronyism, backscratching. It was Rumler who fought to legally block CIA disclosures on Benghazi from Congress to save not yet CIA Director John Brennan's Senate confirmation bid, 2 years before Brennan gave her the CIA Agency Award. This is a tangled web. Worth noting, Kathy Rumler, who fought to make John Brennan the CIA director and then won the CIA Agency Award, was so close to Epstein. She was the backup executor of Jeffrey Epstein's will. Folks, I've been an executor of wills. Like the people who ask you to be the executor of their wills trust you. This isn't, oh, he's a, what did she call him again, Rebecca? A monster. Monster. That was it. Monster. She called him a monster. I'm telling you, folks, this is, Rumler called Jeffrey Epstein Wonderful Jeffrey and said, I adore him, in a December 2015 email exchange, which appears to show Epstein booking and paying for her to have a first-class trip to Europe. Are you guys getting this? I mean, do you understand? I mean, just how big this is? So now she has to step down from Goldman Sachs, but this implicates her in a major way in all of this. And then what on earth is she winning this CIA award for? Was she actually doing legal work for the CIA to keep them distance? Was Jeffrey Epstein an operative for the CIA to get sensitive information on government officials? Is that what was going on here? I mean, we've long suspected that. This is crazy, folks. Hold on. Gets crazier. But the pure cronyism explanation doesn't sit right with me. For one, anyone can get a CIA agency award at any time. It's not a once a year doled out in the one batch. Brennan became CIA chief in March 2013. He didn't give her the award until 2 years later, after she left government. Second, if Brennan had given Rumler the CIA agency medal earlier while she was still at the White House counsel, she could forever after confidently share her honor publicly without needing to hide it, since everyone would presume it was related to her official White House legal role. Now, it's possible Brennan issued her the award while she was White House counsel, but then kept it in CIA custody until she left the government if political sensitivities or the covert operation the award related to were still ongoing. I found examples of that in declassified documents. Okay, so let's just look here. Recommendations for honor awards may originate at any echelon and will be transmitted to the Honor Awards Board through the office head concerned with a statement recommending approval or disapproval. Will forward nominations for awards originating in the field to the Honor Awards Board. Then you can see in instances wherein security might be jeopardized by the revelation of an agency decoration, such awards may be approved but held in the custody of Chief of Office. In cases of this kind, the recipient of the award will be notified with respect to the temporary custodianship. Mike Benz goes on, but still something doesn't sit right. Even if you never announce the CIA agency award to the public, there's still a real benefit to getting one. Privileged inside access, weight and deference, plus more opportunities channeled to you in ongoing and future CIA relationships. So wherever Rumler worked when she got the award, the CIA effectively had their woman in the room for all manner of informal consultation or info sharing. Well, in 2015, when she got it, she's at Latham and Watkins, a central firm in the CIA-led Russiagate affair. It's that one sit out there for a minute. Folks, with all this crazy going on, do you know what you need? A good night's sleep, okay? So go to mypillow.com/lumberjack for big savings and the best sleep products available. Folks, right now, the big mega sale is going on. Only comes around once a year. The mattress topper sale as low as $99.98 with free shipping. Get dream sheets as low as $29.98. My favorite product from MyPillow with free shipping. The standard pillows, $14.98, free shipping. The 6-piece My Towels, they are the best towels you will ever use or own, down to $34.98, the lowest price ever. Again, and my Rev 7, you can see I've got them all lined up right here. I've got all the flavors, and they now have the shots. So go check it out. Also, mattresses, shipping for free. MyPillow.com/lumberjack or 1-800-568-2865. Here's a great story for you, folks. On the day court-appointed U.S. attorney is sworn in, he is fired by the White House. Judges don't choose U.S. attorneys, only the president does. Now, if you remember, because of these stupid blue slips in the Senate, which is just some gentleman's agreement they have in the Senate, where if you have a U.S. attorney being appointed in your state, you get to agree with that. So is Trump going to get any appointments in blue states then? No, it's ridiculous. So here's the article. That was quick. A board of judges for the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of New York chose Donald T. Kinsella to serve as U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of New York. On Wednesday, Kinsella was sworn in. Before the end of the day, he was fired by the Trump administration. Pursuant to 28 Code 546, the Board of Judges of the Northern District of New York appointed Donald T. Kinsella as the United States Attorney for the Northern District of New York. They go on, blah, blah. He's got all this experience, blah, blah. Past president of the Federal Court Bar Association. Oh, my, because the bar's got our best interests in mind. He attended Colgate University, received a bachelor's degree. They go on, blah, 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 blah. But here was Todd Blanche on X. Judges don't pick U.S. attorneys. POTUS does. See Article 2 of our Constitution. You are fired, Donald Kinsella. So this is them doing an end run around the Trump administration. I cannot believe that Donald Trump has gotten as much done as he has in the time that he has done it, as frustrated as I am because I want to see more, when he is dealing with this kind of opposition in every branch of the government. Do you folks find this amazing? I mean, he just eliminated all of these Obama-era green regulations that are costing you on average $3,500 per new car. Gone. Like that. Obama was freaking out the other day. I can't believe he got rid of it. Oh, the environment's going to suffer. We're all going to suffer. We're all going to die. Seriously. I can't. It's amazing that he gets as much done as he does. But it might be because he's the funniest president we've ever had.
To give you all of the equipment you need, we're also purchasing 30 new and modified Abrams tanks. Still the best tank, right? Still? It was named in honor of Stacey Abrams. Only a few very political people would understand that. Congratulations. Thank you very much for a great name, Stacey. But to give you...
The guy is the funniest. He could do stand-up comedy, folks. Democrats are losing in every way, shape, or form. It's beautiful. I did a video on Fonnie Willis earlier today. Hey, Rebecca, do you want to pull up that leading report in the bookmarks about the Democrat Party, the recent polling on this? I'm going to show you guys a poll here that is really amazing. This was came out on CNN. Harry Enton, again, he gets so excited about these numbers. I just love it. But yeah, that one right there. I think, yeah, that's the one. So let's watch this, folks. You'll be heartened by this. It should almost be more obvious that it seems so bad that I can't believe that it's not more. But watch this.
Democratic base, right? But what about all Americans, right? How about all voters? Voters who say the Democrats are now too liberal. Look at this percentage. It was 42% in 96, 48% in 2013, now 58% in 2025 of all voters say that the Democratic Party is too liberal. The Democrats are moving to the left, the far left is gaining power, and there could be some electoral repercussions because what we see right now is voters, the clear majority, say that they are too liberal.
This is really interesting. Thanks so much, Harry.
Thank you.
Straight up, it's interesting signs out there about the midterms. Some special elections that have not gone very well for Republicans. I will say, though, that we have seen consistently, because Americans are so disappointed with the Republican Party because they don't fix anything. We're excited about Donald Trump because he actually does things, right? I mean, how many of you in the audience that kind of get really frustrated with the Republican Party, but see that Donald Trump is actually kind of like pulling them across the finish line? And he had to do that again with the SAVE Act, and we had to shame John Thune into bringing it to the floor and actually, ending the zombie filibuster and forcing a standing filibuster on this issue. So it's going to pass because the Democrats will tire of standing up and bloviating for forever. I mean, not that they're not good at it. They love bloviating. But we get very frustrated with the Republican Party. So what happens is in some of these special elections, not enough people turn out for it. But when Trump gets out and rallies, and Susie Wiles has asked him to do this, and he will be out there in full force getting people to the midterms. That's how we're going to win the midterms. Keep control of Congress, maybe gain some seats in that, and make sure you are engaged, okay, in your local precincts, your local caucuses, making sure that we get the right candidates on the ballot. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. Again, do go check out MyPillow, mypillow.com/lumberjack. Mega sale going on right now. We'll see you on the next episode, folks. Peace out.